Donovan from Formula Honda. I also have Mark, another salesman from Formula Honda, who's going to be helping me out today. And we are located at 2240 Markham Road in Scarborough, probably the most eastern part of Scarborough for you. And today we're going to be looking at the 2016 Honda Civic. This happens to be an EX Turbo model, so we're going to be showing off all these features for you. And Mark, if you just want to have a quick go around, just so you can show everyone what we're going to be looking at. So you'll notice this year it's going to be a good bit bigger, especially from the 2015 counterpart. So it's probably about 80% of the size of an Accord. So for you Accord drivers out there, something to consider on the new Honda Civic. Alright, so now we're just going to show off a little bit of the trunk space for you. If you just want to have a quick look inside. I'm just going to have a seat here so you can actually see how big it is. We got lots of room inside the trunk. Hell, if I wanted to, I could fit in perfectly fine for you, just to show off how big it actually is. And then Mark, if you just want to get a closer look inside, you can see the roof has been raised up on the wheel wells. They've been pushed back a little bit just to give you a lot more horizontal space. So a lot of trunk space on this guy. And you'll notice we do still have the 60-40 split on this guy, so nice and easy. You could be holding stuff, just one pull and it'll open up for you. Ready? And for the rest of the 60-40 split, just so you can see, there's no button or anything. Once I release it from the release latch, I just drop the seats down, and nice and easy, they're down for you. And I can do it on the other side, so I can either have one seat down so I can still have some passengers, or I can just go ahead and drop them both down. And if we could just get a shot from the trunk, and you guys can actually see how we can maximize our space on this. So you can fit a good bit, golf clubs, hockey sticks, etc. And it can still give you the space on a Honda Civic. All right, we'll have a quick look at the engine. Whoopsie. There we go. So if you just want to give everyone a nice shot of the engine, you can see we still have our space inside here. So even for replacing my light bulbs, I can still fit my hand in here. Of course, I can still get to that from the wheel well. And on this side, you'll notice same thing. I still have lots of space. We got our fuse box just up here, just in case. I don't think you'll ever really need to go in here, but should you ever, and we have the spares just located inside. You've got your battery on the top, your dispensary for your windshield washer fluid, and your actual dipstick still just right over here for you. So everything you need, nice and accessible, nice and easy. And just a little bit of information on the engine. The non-turbo model is going to be giving you 158 horsepower as opposed to last year's 143 horsepower on the vehicle. And turbo is actually going to be giving you 174 horsepower on the vehicle. So for most vehicles in its class, Honda has actually picked up and recouped some ground when it comes to horsepower. Now we are leading in some fields with some different models. And all you previous turbo drivers will be happy to know that there's no type of special maintenance that you need to, for the turbo engine. As well with the turbo, when it comes to your fuel, you can actually still be putting in regular gas. You don't have to put in premium gas to be using this turbo engine. Alright, so now we're just going to have a quick look on the inside of the vehicle. Mark, if you could just give everyone a quick look around. You'll notice a good bit more space on the vehicle this year. So as far as passengers or putting things inside the vehicle, we have a good bit more space on this guy. So I'm just gonna hop inside. Oy. Now getting inside the vehicle, first and foremost, you'll probably notice our touch screen. It's been vastly improved from last year's touch screen, so there's a lot more that you can be doing with this guy as well. Just to show you the basic interface, currently it's on the audio. So on the audio, it's all going to be touch. I can be seeing my different ways I can listen to music. So I'm just going to set it to FM now, but you'll notice everything is going to be touch on the screen. Even for my volume, just like a smartphone, I can actually just drag it up and down from the touch screen, so nice and convenient for you. If you could actually just get a shot of the steering wheel. On the steering wheel, you'll notice we actually have this dragger. I can actually just lightly touch, and it's going to increase the volume for me. So I don't even have to be pushing it. It's just a slide. So even the technology is built into the steering wheel, kind of working like a touch screen, so nice and convenient for you. If we just want to have another look back at the touch screen, you'll notice for my dual climate control, it's going to be right here just underneath it, so it still is physical buttons using for my climate control. However, one thing that you will notice is that to be adjusting my fan speed, I can just push this climate button, and right over here you'll notice it's all still touch. So to adjust my fan speed, I can just turn it up, turn it back down, and for my different modes, which has been a button for probably the last 5 or 6 years, just one button by itself, I now actually have 4 buttons built back in, but they are all touch, making it nice and convenient. When I'm done, I can just hit climate, and that'll close it and bring it back to my standard menu or whatever I have open up at the time. If I click on the home screen, I can see all my different options. So I have audio for my radio needs, phone for my Bluetooth, information for my fuel economy, settings to be adjusting certain features on the car, my Honda link for my iPhone apps that I can be purchasing that hook up with this screen, my smartphone for the Honda link. This one actually through your phone will hook up and be able to transmit certain information from you, so you can see your warranty, for instance. I can see if there's any recalls outstanding on the vehicle, just to give you a quick rundown for the Honda link. I have my smartphone connection, which in any case you would be using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto to be hooking up my phone to this screen, so I could be using certain features from there. I have my internet or AHA radio, and then I have my app list, and if I go in here, I have some new exciting features for 2016. I have a built-in browser. So this vehicle, I can actually pick up any broadcasting Wi-Fi. I can also use the hotspot for my cell phone and share my data to the screen. And now I can go ahead and show off my main display, or where my odometer is. It is using an LED display, so you'll notice it's nice and vibrant. It kind of stands out for you, nice and easy to see. It's pretty easy. We have my heating or cooling on the furthest left-hand side. I have my gas tank here on the furthest right. And in the middle is going to be my information display. So currently it's on the turbo meter. I can see how much my turbo is going to be kicking in when I'm accelerating, and I can actually switch, and you'll notice I have different options. So if I wanted to, I could see my fuel economy, I could monitor my turbo input, I can see my maintenance on the vehicle, for instance. So on this test drive vehicle, you'll notice that it's at 40%. When you get your car, it's going to be at 100%, and based on how you drive, it's going to count down to 15% for you. Already, it's letting me know in A is going to be my next service, which is just an oil change, and that I can get done at 15%. As well, on this guy here, I can be adjusting my music or adjusting my phone for the Bluetooth or hands-free capabilities on this guy. As well, I can switch from kilometers to miles, and this screen is customizable, so I can add built-in buttons, or I can remove. So for instance, if I didn't want to be having my music option there, I can actually take it out so that it's not going to be encumbering me. Alright, and I just wanted to show off quickly for you, on the EX and up trim levels, they'll have something called a blind spot camera. So essentially, every time I put on my right hand turn indicator, everything on my right hand side is going to be popping up on my blind spot camera. And this is actually nice and handy. It's actually still within my peripheral vision, so I don't have to fully commit to looking at this. I can still be looking forward while seeing this on my peripheral, and it does help with last minute people creeping into your blind spot. So I just wanted to show off the blind spot camera to you guys. If you're getting anything from the EX trim level up, it will have the blind spot camera built in on the Honda Civic for you. So if I put on my right hand turn signal, everything on my right hand side is going to be coming up on this display, and it's nice in that it's still within your peripheral vision, so I don't have to fully commit to looking at this guy as I'm making my turn. Naturally, for probably the first couple or 2 weeks, it's still an acquired taste, so slowly but surely you'll get used to this guy, and before you know it, you'll be driving and not even noticing that you're using the blind spot camera. As well, I just wanted to show off, once I put it in reverse, as soon as I put it into reverse, my backup camera is going to be popping up for me. So with the backup camera, I have 3 different view modes. I have the wide view. If I'm in neighborhoods or subdivisions and I want to see people walking by, I can actually see someone walking in the background, just to make sure before I actually pull out. I then have my lower to the ground view or channeled view. This one I'll be using to back up. It's a lot closer to the line, so it does make it a good bit easier for me. And last but not least, we have our straight down shot. This one is if you're backing up your vehicle, you don't want to be rubbing your back bumper, so at least I can check my clearance on this one. And if I actually put it back into my view mode for backing up in the lines, as I turn my steering wheel, this guy is going to predict for me where the car is going to land. So I can see on this angle, I'm going to go right into these hoists at the back behind me. And you'll notice this dotted line at the bottom. Essentially, this dotted line, I can make it touch any solid surface, and I still have about a foot before my back bumper is actually going to physically touch anything. As well, when it turns yellow as opposed to orange, it just means that my tires are straight or on a 90-degree angle. Alright, and so we have 2 more features to show off to you. Well, I guess I can show you the economy mode button. So this year's economy mode button is located right over here, as opposed to being where it was before on the left side of the vehicle. As well, we've got the brake hold, and you'll notice no more stick. We've got your parking brake. So with the brake hold, essentially if you're on a hill and you don't want to be holding down the brake yourself, I can go ahead and give the brake hold a push. Once I do that, it's essentially going to apply the brakes for me. At the proper time when I'm ready, I can just go ahead and step on the gas, and it is going to release the brake hold, and off I go. Other than that, our handbrake is now an electronic handbrake. So with this, nice and easy, I just have to have my foot on the brake. Once my foot on the brake, I can just go ahead and push this down, and you might be able to hear it. Alright, so we're just going to take this car for a quick spin just to show off a couple of the features for you. Hopefully maybe you can hear it, but it's actually really quiet inside here, so not as much road noise is going to be generated with this vehicle this year. Alright, so I'm just going to show off a couple of the features to you. You have things like your lane departure. On the lane departure, you don't have to be inside cruise control to be using it. Essentially, over 72 kilometers, if I should veer outside of this checkered line, it is going to steer my vehicle back into line. So I'm just going to try and get up to the proper speeds and show you guys how this is going to be working for you. So there you go. It'll set you a warning, and you'll notice it guided me right back into lane with my hands not even on the steering wheel. I'm going to try it again, just going down this hill. So it's lined up. Hands are off. Oh, let me just... So my hands are off, and you'll notice it's guiding itself back into lane for me. And just to let you know as well, steering is required if it does need the proper inputs. So I'm just going to turn down here. As well on this guy, it also, for the solid line, for you people on the highway, it will automatically guide you back into lane. So if you do like to ride the line on the highway, that feature actually will be guiding you back into line. So it's a good safety feature to have in case you're minorly distracted for a moment, or if you're getting a little bit dozy, at least it'll keep you alert. So right over here, I'm just going to give that a push, and now my foot's not on the brake. You'll notice that it says brake hold. So I'm just going to wait for the lights to change. I can just go ahead and step on gas, and it's automatically going to release for me. So when you're on hills, you can be applying the brake hold, and you don't have to hold down the brake anymore. Alright, so I hope you liked our quick demo on the Honda Civic. Again, we are looking at the 2016, and this is the Honda Civic EXT or EX Turbo model. Just to demo off some of the features for you guys. So, oh, one last thing before I finish it up. And I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off nice and easy. On the EX and up, it is coming with the proximity key. So it's going to be push to start, just one touch, and it's off for you. So I'm just going to hop outside the vehicle. And just nice and quickly, I just wanted to show you two things. A, is that on the gas cap this year, it's going to be just a quick push. As long as the car is unlocked, I can just push to unlock it. And you'll notice it's capless this year. Same thing, I can shut it to lock. And if I lock the car, no one's getting in there for you. As well, with the proximity key, as long as I keep it about 1 meter away from the door, I can with my hand just put it on the door handle, 2 chirps to let me know it's unlocked, and I can give it a shut. I can just go ahead and push this black button, and it's on. The thing on the proximity key is I can go ahead and shut the door, walk away from, and it's actually going to lock for me after a small delay. One other small thing I wanted to show you, Mark, if you could just pass me those keys. There you go. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the trunk. So, oh no, I locked my keys in the trunk. No, I didn't, because the trunk isn't going to lock for me while my keys are inside there. Same thing with if there's a key inside the vehicle, it's actually not going to lock for you. So that's a nice feature, just to be making sure, because I've locked my key in my car twice now. If I had a 16, I wouldn't have to worry about that. So I hope you enjoyed our quick demo video. Again, we are at Markham Road, 2240 Markham Road in Scarborough, and that has been Donovan Van Kooten and Mark Lynn helping you guys out with this quick demo walk around. Thanks again, guys.